Hi everyone, we are students from Multimedia University Malacca. We are here to present a project about information assurance, and the project title is Project Selection and Risk Plan. I'm Bun Haller, and I will go for introduction for this project. Information assurance is similar with information security. There are three main principles in information assurance, which are confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Most of the companies nowadays rely heavily on technology to store and transmit sensitive information. Therefore, the organization should know how to ensure the data protection, focusing on CIA. To complete this project, we have selected an organization called Panda Software House. So what is Panda Software House? Panda Software House is a well-establishing company specializing in retail ERP solution, making it relevant for an IT-based organization analysis. Panda Software House is based in Malacca, Malaysia. It is established in 2004 and recognized with Multimedia Super Corridor MSC status in 2010. It has a flagship product called Panda Ecosystem. This system will offer comprehensive tools for inventory control, point of sale systems, customer relationship management, business intelligence, and support seamless omni-channel retailing. So now we will move to why we choose Panda Software House for our project.
Hi, I'm Jinan Xing, and I'm going to present about why we choose the organization. The organization we choose is Panda Software House in Berhad, which is an ideal organization for our project due to its significant role in the IT sector, specifically in providing retail ERP solutions. Number two, one of the primary reasons for selecting Panda Software House is the access we have to detailed organizational data and the willingness of the company to cooperate with our research. Number three, the complexity and evolving nature of Panda Software House IT infrastructure make it a compelling case study. Lastly, our preliminary discussion with the organization have revealed several critical issues that need addressing, such as cybersecurity threats, outdated infrastructure in certain hubs, and challenges in remote support services. Now I'm going to present identifying the problems of the organization. Number one, cybersecurity risk. The sensitive client data at risk, and also the current security infrastructure facing evolving threats, data breaches could harm the reputation. Number two, outdated infrastructure issues. The service hubs like Johor Bahru, Kota Kinabalu have older hardware, potential disruption in service delivery, and also the management planning upgrades. Number three, technology integration issues, compatibility issues with older systems, and delays in new feature implementations, and also the need for a streamlined integration strategy. Number four, the issue of staff training and development, the rapid technological advancements and the gaps in current training programs, and the needs for enhanced and continuous training. Number five, remote support management, the challenges in coordinating across multiple locations, the instances of delayed responses and unresolved issues, and also the need for a robust remote management system. Lastly, data analytics and reporting, the difficulties in generating accurate and timely reports, data integration problems from various sources, and the importance of improving data integration techniques. So this is my part of the presentation, which is the identification.
Hi, my name is Caleb Yeo, and I will present about identify the risk. So in measuring risk exposure, the method that we use is quantitative approach. In quantitative assessment, the risk characterization produce numerical estimates of risk, and the quantitative tools rely on numbers to express the risk levels. For the risk opportunities analysis formula, the priority rating is equal to probability rating times with the impact rating, and there's also three risk levels that are low risk, medium risk, and high risk. Next, the figure shows the priority risk rating matrix that has been approved and is been using by the Panda Software House. We also have the priority risk rating action and countermeasure guideline. First, the routine methods we will use to monitor and manage low risk rating. The management will oversee assigning a medium risk rating. And finally, the senior management will take notice of a high risk rating. Moreover, the figure shows the top 20 risks that we have identified and ranked. Now I will pass my turn to the next presenter.
So hi, my name is Takeshi Ho, and I'm going to present our comprehensive risk mitigation plan, which is designed to address all the risks identified within the previous slide. And this will include all the mitigation plans, monitoring plans, and emergency response plans. And in the previous slide, we have mentioned that there's a total of 30 risks, which 7 are classified as high risk, 6 has medium risk, and remaining of 7 low risk. And without further ado, let's start with our first high risk, which is unauthorized access. To identify unauthorized access, it usually occurs when individual gain access to system or data without permission, which potentially leads to data breaches and misuse of the information. So for the mitigation plan, to prevent unauthorized access to system and data, the company can implement multi-factor authentication, which also known as MFA, to ensure that only verified users can access the system, and apply role-based access control (RBAC) to grant users only the permission necessary for their roles. And they should also conduct frequent review of access permission to ensure that only authorized users have the access to the sensitive data in the system. And for the monitoring plan, to detect and respond to authorized access attempts, the company can deploy an intrusion detection system, which also known as IDS, for the monitoring their network for any suspicious activity, and they could conduct regular review access logs to identify and respond to any authorized access attempts. And for the emergency response plan, uh, they can immediately lock down any compromised credentials or system to prevent further unauthorized access. And they should also investigate the source and extent of the unauthorized access to determine the cause and prevent future incidents. And they should also inform affected stakeholders about the situation and the mitigation efforts to ensure the transparency and trust between the company and the stakeholders. For the second high risk that we identify is cyber attacks. And as you know that cyber attacks involves a variety of malicious activities that aim at compromising system and data integrity. So in order to mitigate this risk, the company needs to implement robust defenses such as firewalls and up-to-date antivirus and anti-malware software. And also they should regularly apply security patches, which are really crucial to protect against those various forms of cyber attacks. And moreover, they can implement network segmentation using variable length subnet mask, which is short form we call as VLSM, and strict firewall rules to isolate sensitive parts of the network to reduce the impact of the attack. They must also adopt practice vulnerabilities like SQL, process scripting, or command injection. And for monitoring part, the company should continuously monitor network traffic for sign of any malicious or suspicious activities. And the utilization of security information and event management, the SIEM or SIEM tools, will enable real-time analysis and help to identify those unusual behavior quickly. And in the event of a cybersecurity, the emergency response plan includes activating the incident response hierarchy to restore backups and implement necessary security patches. And it is also vital to isolate affected system immediately to prevent further spread of the attacks that contain the damage. So in the summary, cyber attacks pose a significant threats to system integrity and also the data security. And implementing robust defenses, secure coding practices, and continuously monitoring are a critical step. And having a well-prepared incident response plan to ensure the rapid recovery and minimize the impact of the cyber attack. And for the next, we have identified the ransomware attacks has a third high risk. So the ransomware attacks involves malicious software that encrypts a victim's data and demands payment for the description key, which can actually harmful towards an organization. So in order to mitigate this risk, it's crucial to implement regular data backups and store these backups offline to ensure they are not affected by the ransomware. And employee training on safe browsing habits and phishing prevention is also essential to avoid clicking on suspicious links that could lead to ransomware infection. And additionally, deploying employee protection software with ransomware detection capabilities will help in early detection and prevention. For monitoring, the company needs to keep an eye on unusual network traffic and file encryption activities by looking for abnormal file access type, the patterns, the types. And next, identifying suspicious emails that could indicate ransomware is also vital. And this can be done by using behavioral analysis tools to detect threats before they can cause the harms. And in the event of ransomware attack, the emergency response plan includes immediately isolating and disconnecting the infected system from the network to prevent further spread. The company should restore data from previous backup and communicate with the stakeholders to manage the situation effectively. And it is also important to define the current infection stage to determine if the external digital forensic are needed or not based on the extent of data loss. In summary, ransomware attacks pose a severe threat by encrypting data and demanding payment per release, and regular backups, employee training, and robust network protection are the key mitigation strategies, and effective monitoring and a prompt emergency response plan ensure minimal disruption and a quick recovery for such attacks. The fourth high risk is data leakage. Data leakage refers to the unauthorized transmission of data from within an organization to an external destination by risking the exposure of sensitive information. In order to mitigate this risk, it's essential to implement data prevention strategies, DLP, such as encrypting all the sensitive data both in transit and at rest. Next, enforcing strict access controls and user permission will help prevent unauthorized data access. And regular employee training on data protection is also critical to prevent downloading malicious application or clicking on the harmful links. For effective monitoring, the company should continuously monitor data transfer and access pattern using the DLP tools that I mentioned just now to detect any unauthorized or unusual activity. And also utilizing audits, logs, and conducting regular inspection will ensure the data integrity and help to identify the potential breaches in more early stage. So in case of a data leakage incident, the emergency response plan includes identifying and containing the source of the leak to prevent further exposure. And it's crucial to immediately block unauthorized channel to stop the data from being leaked. And if necessary, and as required by the law, the company should notify affected individual stakeholders to ensure the transparency and the appropriate remedial actions. So in summary, data leakage poses a significant risk by exposing sensitive information to authorized parties, and encrypting data, imposing access controls, and conducting regular training are the key mitigation strategies for it. And also the continuously monitoring and swift emergency response plan will help to manage and mitigate the impact of the data leakage incident. Next, unpaged software vulnerabilities is the fifth high risk that we identified for the company. Unpaged software vulnerabilities present a significant risk as outdated software can be exploited by attackers or bad actors to gain unauthorized access or destroy the daily operation of the company. To mitigate this risk, it's crucial to implement a robust page management process that ensures software and systems are regularly updated. And prioritizing critical security pages for immediate deployment is essential to protect against the potential threats. And for the monitoring plan, it includes the utilization of automated tools to scan for unpaged software and vulnerabilities. And the company should also conduct regular vulnerability assessment and penetration testing at least once a year, will help to identify and address the security gaps. In the event of a critical vulnerability, the emergency response plan includes immediately applying software patches upon the release and after the patch deployment. Closely monitoring the system for sign of any exploitation is necessary to ensure the effectiveness of the updates and detect any potential security breaches. So for the summary, unpaged software vulnerabilities pose a significant risk to system security and the operations. And regular updates, prioritizing critical pages, and continuously monitoring are the key strategies to mitigate this risk. And a pro-emergency response plan will ensure the swift action in addressing the vulnerabilities and maintaining the company system integrity. The sixth high-risk network intrusion. Network intrusion involves unauthorized access to network resources, posing risks such as data breaches and disruption of network services. In order to mitigate this risk, it is essential to implement comprehensive strategies like ensure strong network perimeter defenses, including firewalls and intrusion detection system (IDS), to monitor and filter incoming and outgoing traffic, and utilize virtual private networks (VPNs) for secure remote access to minimize the risk of network tracking and unauthorized access into a company. And also implement network segmentation to isolate and contain potential intrusion by limiting the impact on critical system. For the monitoring plan, deploy intrusion detection system (IDS) and intrusion prevention system (IPS) for the real-time detection and response to intrusion. Monitor network traffic continuously to identify suspicious IPs and unauthorized access attempts, promptly adding them to into the access control list (SCL) to prevent the further infiltration. In the event of network intrusion, isolate the affected network segment immediately to prevent the further compromise, and also conduct a thorough investigation to determine the intrusion method and extent of the breach. Enhance security measures based on investigation findings to prevent future intrusion and strengthen the network defenses of the company. In the summary, network intrusion poses a serious threat to an organization security and operation continuity, and implementing robust mitigation, monitoring, and emergency response plan is critical to safeguarding all the network resources and mitigate all these potential risks effectively. 7, which is the last high risk, compliance with laws and regulations. Compliance with legal and regulatory requirements is crucial to avoid penalties, legal actions, and reputational damage that can arise from non-compliance. In order to mitigate and address this risk effectively, the company could establish a comprehensive compliance program encompassing policies and procedures aligned with relevant regulation like GDPR, PCI DSS, which follow by the industry standards. And next, implement robust measures to protect the data and privacy by ensuring adherence to regulatory frameworks. And for monitoring plan, it should include continuously monitor by changing in the regulatory requirements to promptly update the policies and procedures accordingly. And next, conduct regular internal audits and assessment to assess compliance levels and identify any gaps or area needing for the improvement. Also maintain details documentation of compliance reports and corrective action that will be taken to demonstrate the adherence. In the event of compliance breach, respond promptly to the mitigate risk and address issues. The company could implement corrective actions swiftly to prevent recurrence and ensure ongoing compliance with legal regulatory requirements. And also communicate effectively with the stakeholders, also to manage the situation transparently and mitigate potential impacts. And for the conclusion, prioritizing compliance with law and regulation is essential for organizations to uphold ethical standards, protect sensitive data, and maintain the trust with the stakeholders. And by implementing a proactive approach to compliance management and maintaining the diligence through the monitoring and response plans, the company can mitigate the risk effectively and navigate the regulatory landscape with confidence. Medium risk, which there are 6 total of it. So for the first medium risk that we identify is the viability of the systems. Maintaining the vulnerabilities and functionalities of the system is critical for ensuring business continuity and operational efficiency. So in order to mitigate the risks associated with the system vulnerability, first the company could implement a robust strategies such as redundancy and failover solution. And by duplicating critical components and services, organization can ensure that if one fail, another takes over seamlessly as the backup purpose, and utilize load balancers to evenly distribute the traffic across multiple servers, and by preventing overload and optimizing the performance. Next, conduct a regular maintenance and updates to address the vulnerabilities and optimize the system performance, thereby minimizing the risk of the unexpected downtime. For the monitoring plan, monitor system uptime and performance metrics continuously using automated monitoring tools. And these utilities provide real-time insight into system health and also allowing proactive identification of potential issues before they escalate, and also set up alerts or notification for the system outage or performance degradation to enable the immediate response and minimize the disruption towards the company operation. And in the event of system outage or performance issue, initiate an immediate response plan, which including for the first one, investigate the root cause of the downtime properly to determine the underlying issues and implement corrective actions swiftly. And also activate backup system or failover mechanism to restore the critical services and minimize the downtime impact. And take note to communicate proactively with the IT support team and the stakeholders to keep them informed throughout the incident resolution process, with ensuring all the transparency and also the timely resolution. And for the conclusion, by implementing a comprehensive approach and encompassing all this mitigation, monitoring, and also the emergency response plan, the company can enhance the resilience of their system and also maintain high availability and uphold business continuity even during the unexpected challenges. And the second medium risk that we identify is DDoS attack, distributed denial of service attacks, which can flood the traffic system by rendering them inaccessible to legitimate user and severely disrupting the system operation. So in order to mitigate the risk of DDoS attack, the company could implement a comprehensive anti-DDoS solution that include the advanced traffic filtering and also the bandwidth management. And this help in identifying and mitigating all the malicious traffic while allowing the legitimate traffic to pass through. And also they shall use the content delivery network CDN to distribute the web content efficiently, speeding up page loading times and also reducing the impact of traffic spikes during the peak hour. And so additionally, the company should also implement rate limiting to control the amount of traffic from individual sources and apply traffic filtering to block non-malicious IP addresses with the unusual patterns of it. For the monitoring plan, the company should continuously monitor network traffic for the signs of DDoS activity using advanced traffic analysis tools. Next, employ DDoS detection services like Cloudflare or Google Rechacha to provide a real-time alerts and automated responses to those potential threats. And these tools can help in identifying all the unusual traffic patterns and responding promptly to mitigate the impact of the DDoS attack. And for the emergency response plan in the event of DDoS attack, the company shall immediately activate the DDoS protection service to counteract the influx of malicious traffic, and also conduct a thorough review and analysis of the attack vector to understand the nature of the origin of the source of the attacks, and also use this information to enhance the existing DDoS response strategies and implement additional protective measures as needed. By refining response protocols and improving defenses, the organization or the company can better withstand with future DDoS attack and ensure the continued availability of the critical services. The third medium risk that we identify in Panda Software House is configuration errors. So for incorrect system configuration, often resulting from human error, which can lead to vulnerabilities and operational issues, jeopardizing the security and efficiency of the IT infrastructure. So in order to mitigate the risk of configuration errors, the company could implement the use of templates and automated script to ensure consistent and accurate configuration across all the system. Next, double check all system configurations before applying updates to prevent errors from being introduced, and also conduct regular audits and reviews of system configuration to identify and rectify any discrepancies of the vulnerabilities. And for the monitoring plan, it includes the utilization of configuration management tools to continuously monitor system configuration and any changes made to them to the system. Also take note to set up or notify an alert to detect unauthorized or unexpected configuration changes, enabling the prompt response to potential issues. For emergency response plan in the event of configuration error, immediately roll back to a previous or non-good configuration stages to restore back into the normal operation, and also conduct a thorough investigation to determine the cause of the misconfiguration and implement corrective measures to prevent the recurrence in future. And also provide additional training to staff on proper configuration procedures to reduce the likelihood of future errors and enhance the overall system reliability. For medium risk, which is user PC breakdown. So the breakdown of user PC can disrupt both productivity and overall business operation, which posing a significant risk to efficiency and output for the company. So in order to mitigate the risk of user PC breakdowns, the company could maintain an inventory of spare PCs and parts to ensure quick replacement when it needed. And also implement regular maintenance and update schedules for all the PCs to keep them running smoothly and prevent the potential issues. And take note also to have regularly backup data to prevent loss in case of breakdown by ensuring that all the important information can be easily restored. For the monitoring plan, which include monitor the health and performance of user PCs continuously, and also use remote management tools to detect the potential issues early by allowing for proactive maintenance and minimizing the risk of unexpected breakdowns. For the emergency response plan, in the event of PC breakdown, promptly identify the issues and provide a replacement PC or parts as needed to minimize the downtime. And also restore user data from backups to ensure continuity of work and also productivity by allowing employees to resume their tasks with minimal disruption. Fifth medium risk, which is periodically bring your own device, which means permitting personal devices within the workplace introduce various security risks, which potentially compromising sensitive organization data. So in order to mitigate this risk, the company shall implement a formal bureaucracy policy outlining security requirements for employees to follow, and also utilize mobile device management MDM solution to enforce these security policies and maintain control over personal devices. Next, the company must ensure encryption and also strong authentication on personal devices and require the use of the virtual private network VPN for remote access to secure data transmission. For the monitoring plan, the company shall regularly monitor all the personal devices to ensure compliance with VOD policies. Additionally, keep track on all those software updates and patches on these personal devices to ensure they are up to date and not vulnerable to security threats. And for the emergency response plan, in case of non-compliance or a compromised device, immediately lock down the device to prevent data breaches, and also conduct a thorough investigation to determine the extent of the data breach and identify any unauthorized access of data leaks from all those personal devices. And also implement measures to address security issues and enforce compliance in order to prevent future incidents and ensuring the protection of the organization data. The last medium risk that we identify in the Panda Software House company is monitoring of third-party service providers. So the third-party service providers can introduce security risks through their own practices, which potentially compromising the company security posture. And in order to mitigate this risk, the company could conduct regular audits of third-party activities to identify and develop necessary security protection standards. And the company shall also include compliance clauses in the contract that mandate adherence to security standards by the third-party providers, by ensuring they follow the best practices and meet the required criteria. And for monitoring plan, the company could continuously monitor the performance and security practices of the third-party providers to ensure they comply with contractual obligations. And also the company could set up an alerts for any changes in the security status of the third-party providers in order to enable a quick response to the potential threats. And for the emergency response plan, which in the event of security issues with third-party providers, the company shall work closely with them to address and rectify the problems, and by implementing corrective action to prevent recurrence and ensure the ongoing security of the company data. Lastly, the company must have a regularly review to the security practices and performance of the third-party providers to maintain compliance and effective risk management. And now let's discuss the risk mitigation plan that should be implemented to against the low risk, which there are 7 total of it. So for the first low risk that we identified is the cloud security issues. And the cloud security issues can arise from misconfiguration, vulnerabilities, or third-party providers' practices, which potentially compromising sensitive data and operations. So in order to mitigate this risk, the company should encrypt data both during storage and transmission through cloud services by ensuring protection against network snooping. And the company also could enforce strict access control to limit cloud resource access to only authorized user by preventing unauthorized access. For the monitoring plan, the company could set up alerts for any unusual activities or changes in cloud security environment, with enabling a quick response to potential security incidents. For the emergency response plan, in the event of the cloud security incidents, the company should conduct thorough investigations to understand the cause and implement preventive measures, and also collaborate with cloud providers to address and restore security issues by ensuring ongoing protection and minimizing future risks. The second low risk that we identify in the company is loss of data, and data loss can result from hardware failures, accidental deletions, or other issues which potentially disrupting operation and causing significant harms to an organization. In order to mitigate the risk of data loss, the company should implement regular backups to ensure data can be restored in a case of loss. Additionally, use data recovery tools like Distro to restore the lost data if backups fail. And for the monitoring plan, the company shall continuously monitor the status and integrity of backups to ensure their reliability, and also set up an alerts for any backup failures to address issue promptly. For emergency response plan in the event of data loss, the company shall immediately restore data from backups to minimize disruption. After that, they shall investigate the cause of data loss to prevent recurrence. The company shall also have regularly review and test backup and recovery processes to ensure their effectiveness, maintaining data availability and the integrity. The third low risk in the company is data corruption, which often occurs due to the hardware failures, software bugs, or other issues, which leading to unusable or lost data, which can significantly disrupt the organization operation. So, in order to mitigate the data corruption risk, the company could regularly implement data integrity check to ensure the data remains accurate and uncorrupted. Next, utilize mirror storage solutions to maintain a clean copy of data, even if one set is corrupted. And the company should also develop a robust backup strategy that includes both on-site and off-site backups to safeguard the company data. And for the monitoring plan, the company shall use advanced real-time monitoring tools to provide alerts for any signs of data corruption and continuously verify the data integrity to ensure the health and accuracy of the data. And for the emergency response plan, in the event of a data corruption risk, the company shall promptly restore data from clean backups to minimize the downtime and maintain smooth operation. Lastly, the company should conduct a thorough investigation to determine the cause of corruption and implement the preventive measures to avoid future incidents. The next low risk that we have identified is physical theft. So physical theft of devices or equipment can lead to data breaches and loss of valuable assets that posing significant risk to an organization. And so in order to mitigate the risk of the physical theft, the company could implement biometric access controls and security cameras like CCTV to enhance the physical security measures. The company shall also equip devices with tracking technology to allowing them for quick location recovery, and next they could encrypt all the data on physical devices to ensure it remains accessible even if the devices is physically stolen. And for monitoring plan, the company need to continuously monitor physical security measures to ensure their effectiveness and also set up an alert for unauthorized access or thief incidents to enable a quick response. And lastly, for the emergency response plan, in the event of the physical theft risk, the company needs to promptly report the incidents to law enforcement and internal security staff. Then the company could utilize remote wide capabilities to erase all those sensitive data on the stolen devices in order to preventing the information misuse and safeguarding the organizational data. For the fifth low risk that we have identified in Panda Software House Company is their network connection. So for the network connection risk involve disruption or failures in network connectivity, which can impact access to services and data while leading to operational downtime. In order to mitigate the risk of network connection failures, the company needs to set up redundant routers as backup internet connection in case the main routers fails. And the company shall also implement network optimization tools such as quality of service QoS and load balancing to ensure the best possible performance and reliability. The company could also regularly schedule maintenance and upgrade network hardware to keep everything running smoothly and prevent the unexpected downtime. And for the monitoring plan, the company could use network monitoring tools to continuously monitor the network and identify the potential failures or the performance issue. For emergency response plan, in the event of network failures, the company could check and identify the failures based on the OSI 7-layer model to determine if the issue is physical or external, or is required to contact the internet service provider ISP to check and repair any network failures issues promptly. The sixth low risk that we have identified is user training for the company, as we know that the user training risk involves inadequate knowledge and awareness among employees regarding security practices, which can lead to increased vulnerability to the cyber threats. And in order to mitigate the risk associated with the user training, the organization shall offer regular information security courses to ensure employee security awareness remain up to date and reinforce best practices at least once a year. And the company shall also conduct regular security simulation, including phishing and malware scenarios to help employees to recognize and respond effectively to the potential security risk. In order to monitor the effectiveness of training initiative, the company could utilize training progress tracking tools to ensure that all the employees complete the required training and identify areas needing improvement. The company could also implement a feedback mechanism to gather all the employee feedback for the input on training programs with enabling continuously improvement. And lastly, for the emergency response plan, the company could provide immediate retraining to employees involved in security incidents to reinforce correct practices and improve future responses. The company shall also analyze security incidents involving user errors to identify the weaknesses and tailor future training programs accordingly. Finally, for the last risk that have identified for the company is cost risk. Cost risk involved budgetary constraints that can impact the ability to implement and maintain effective security measures and operational needs. In order to mitigate the cost risk effectively, the company shall develop detailed budget plans that prioritize critical security and also the operational needs to ensure the resources are allocated efficiently. And the company could also implement cost-benefit analysis for potential investment to make informed decisions that maximize value and payback period. To monitor and manage the expenses of the company could utilize advanced expense monitoring tools to provide real-time visibility into the spending, facilitating quick identification and resolution of budgetary concerns. And the company shall also conduct regular financial reviews to ensure spending aligns with the budgetary goals and identifies the opportunities for the cost saving. In response to unforeseen financial needs, the company shall maintain flexibility to quickly reallocate funds to critical areas as needed to ensure continuous support, and also can continuously optimize processes and expenditure to achieve long-term financial stability and resource utilization, and that's all for the risk mitigation plan that recommended for the Turkey risk.